The TVS Raider 125 is a motorcycle you've already seen here not too long ago. And it's back for good reason. Our previous review was from TVS's test track, and while that did allow us to put it through its paces, we and some of you in the comment section were still left with quite a few unanswered questions. First and foremost, how does it perform in real world conditions? Performance would usually be the last thing we discuss when talking about a motorcycle from the 125cc commuter segment. However, the Raider 125 is a departure from the norm. While 11.38 horsepower and 11.2 Nm of peak torque doesn't sound like much, and it isn't, it's the way that it delivers its power that'll put a little smile on your face. The 123 kg Raider gets to 60 in 5.5 seconds and 80 in a respectable 10.3 seconds. What that means is that it doesn't feel extremely slow and sluggish, and that itself is a win considering the segment it falls in. This not slow acceleration is also accompanied by a sweet bubbly exhaust note. Refinement levels are also really impressive, with only a tiny hint of vibrations being felt through the seat. The 5-speed gearbox is precise, and the bike has no trouble doing even as low as 35 kph in the fifth. The tractable setup also reduces the need for constant gear shifts in traffic, and something else that left us rather impressed was how effortlessly this bike sits at 80 kph. While all the performance talk does sound quite appealing, this is still a 125cc commuter, and fuel efficiency numbers can be a deal breaker. So what are they like? Well, the Raider has got you covered. During our test, it returned 61.8 kpl in the city and 62.1 kpl on the highway. While the result from the city is on par with its rivals, the highway number is slightly lower. That being said, anything over 60 kpl in the real world is commendable. With the all-important fuel efficiency numbers out of the way, let's discuss another highly asked question. How does it ride and handle on varying road surfaces, and what's it like for the pillion? It almost feels like TVS spends a little more time tuning suspension and handling than many other two-wheeler companies. The ride quality is soft and supple, ironing out most undulations. Even large potholes don't unsettle the Raider. And as far as handling goes, it feels very light and agile, with almost instantaneous flickability that might take you by surprise at first. The TVS Remora tires also have sufficient grip on tarmac and even off it. The commuter space is full of motorcycles with flat single-piece seats. While that does improve room, especially in terms of length, they're generally not as supportive or stylish as split-seat setups. The Raider seats are supportive and well padded. We tried the motorcycle with a pillion, and neither of us had any complaints. TVS knows a thing or two about making its motorcycles stand out. Here are some of the features we liked and some that we didn't. Useful features include the neat cubby for storage under the pillion seat and the optional USB port mounted ahead of the fuel filler cap. The coolest feature though is the negative multicolor LCD that shows loads of information. It includes a gear position indicator, 2 trips, fuel economy, range and more. The Raider even has a side stand down engine kill feature and auto start stop. The Eco and Power ride modes are another big feature. Eco mode brings the rev limiter in at 8000 rpm in the first 4 gears and at 7000 rpm in the 5th gear. As a result, it slows down the acceleration while also limiting the top speed. TVS has also ditched the chain cover on the Raider, and I'm not sure whether buyers in this segment are ready for the additional care that's required with an exposed chain. Lastly, the CVS has caused a slight reduction in feedback from the front disc brake. It hasn't, however, affected the braking. We found that equal use of the front and rear brake results in the best braking performance. Lastly, where does it fit in and should you buy one? At 85,000 rupees, the TVS Raider is priced close to its rivals. However, besides its price and the fact that it is a 5-speed 125, it distinguishes itself quite nicely. The funky styling, peppy performance, segment rivaling fuel efficiency, and impressive dynamics come together to make the Raider a more youthful, engaging, and fun to ride motorcycle than any of its rivals. And if that sounds like what you're after, look no further.